Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of My Hero Academia. Sorry, my voice is it's a little fucked, but bear with me, okay? It is I, your sadistic spirit guide yokai, Poppy Wolf, back to bring you another episode, and this episode is honestly pretty good. You know what? I'd never read the manga during this arc, so correct me if I'm wrong. Is this episode filler? This episode feels kind of fillery for different reasons, but if it isn't, then hey man, the movie must be working for the manga, and if it's not, then this episode really, I guess it is just to support the movie, honestly. But let's talk about the big things of this. Let's talk about some other stuff before I talk about this episode. One thing I really want to enjoy, or really want to really want to stress is this season of My Hero Academia failing because of the movie. We had this discussion last time we talked about the anime, about how it seems like the anime is being very stretched out for the fact that everybody wants the movie to come out, and I feel like this is getting very true after rewatching the whole season in dub. I've been noticing there's a lot of key and a lot of good moments with this season, but again, it feels like a lot of it's being undercut only because they want to high stress the movie. Now, don't get me wrong, the last season did the very same thing and the movie was fantastic. The movie was probably one of the best My Hero movies I have ever seen, but I think that's the big problem, is they try to make the movies kind of feel like they can fit into the storyline with the season, along with adding some tidbits with the manga stuff, and it is just it doesn't really feel like the best way to put it is, you guys are focusing on one big project when you should be focusing on the project in front of you. By focusing so much on just this season alone, you're not letting everything else develop. I mean, but focusing on the movie alone, you're not letting the season develop where it can really develop. And honestly, the season's probably one of the best seasons of My Hero to come, and the fact that you guys are very undercutting it with just because the movie's coming out is it's just going to take away from the season, and especially where the season will probably end off on. It's just going to end horribly, and I think everyone's going to be complaining about this season like they complained about last season, because because the studios are caring about the movie and they want the movie to sell the most, and they're caring more about the movie than the show, and it's like the movies don't even have anything to do with the content, and it's just not going to be a good time. Now, if they did put a My Hero movie in place of a season, or very much in place of the latter half of a season, I could see that doing a lot better, especially for the final arc or some of the endings of arcs. You really could do a lot of with that, especially what's coming in this arc. You guys can really set up a nice thing going, you know what I'm saying? You guys have something going on really good. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm gonna keep referring to vaguely, but if they ended this arc with a movie, I wouldn't be against it. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff that's gonna come. But let's just jump right in the episode. Yeah, we've been talking about this stuff and whether the movie's hurting the seasons now, and it's kind of apparent, especially with I think they signed on for 3 more movies after this movie. I don't even know, but okay, let's just jump right in. So the episode begins where we kind of left off with Natsuo and the whole Todoroki family talking about their grievances with their father. Fumiya, who's trying to forgive and forget and move on and become a family together, is trying her best. Shoto, who's on the fence of whether to forgive or forget, and of course Natsu, who's kind of like, nah dude, why am I gonna forgive somebody who killed my brother? You're the reason my brother's dead. My older brother's dead because of your ass. I don't give a fuck about you. You're a deadbeat dad. You've always been a deadbeat dad, and you'll never not be a deadbeat dad. And that is a lot to unpack. It is crazy. Natsu definitely has the most to feel about this situation, because Toya was the person he was closest with. If I have to assume, Toya and him are probably a year apart, because Fumiya and Natsu seem about 2 years apart. It makes sense. While Shoto being the youngest one of them all, being still 15 years old, 16 years old, compared to his older brothers and sister. So it's not far off to believe that's the case. Along with all of that, there's this villain stalker, Fatal Attraction, who is in obsessed with Endeavor for the worst reasons. He believes Endeavor is the greatest hero, and because he's the greatest hero, he wants to die by his hand because his light is just intoxicating and whatnot. Like, this story, that obsession storyline is not my favorite. But I will say what comes out of this episode that's really, really good is the rescue scene. Now, there's a whole bunch of middle stuff happening in between with everybody having their own opinions on situations. Natsu getting kidnapped, the limo driver and whatnot. But it's really the crux of this episode is when we see Endeavor freeze up when he's fighting the street dude. I don't remember his name, but we see him freeze up because he's actually scared for a moment that he's going to lose his other son. And this is where the three heroes in training pick up the slack, man. Seeing them all take from that first part where they start the training to this end of the week, where they've learned and they've done so much and they've been competing to like keep up with Endeavor, they really do shine the most here. Seeing all three of them in that like light pull together and really just, you know, carry this fight with taking the lessons that Endeavor has imparted into them and making it like literally putting into a practice literally is fantastic. I loved seeing Bakugo condense his burst so that way he could be faster and he can not, you know, waste so much energy. I love seeing Shoto like use his fire and his fire abilities as well as his ice, just in a crafting idea of a sort. And to see Deku use Black Whip and understand it's the same power as everything, I need to regulate it the same way. Fantastic. Seeing all this was amazing. I'd be more excited. I'd be like going off more, but as you can hear, my voice is literally gone, so I can't scream and shout and explain why I love this so much. But it is fantastic, and it definitely does kind of hint towards the movie. Like, it's definitely looks like it's building up for the movie, which I wasn't against, but it does make me start thinking, okay, well, now it seems apparent that that the whole point of the season is to amp up for the movie. I will say that the scene with the limo driver shooting out the briefcases really reminded me of Iron Man 2 when Happy's carrying Tony's suit and he goes like, "Oh, your suit, boss," and it just reminds me heavily of that. Other than that, I don't really know what to say about this episode. Seeing Natsu and NG have that really heart-to-heart about like, you don't have to forgive me, my atonement is for me and your happiness and your family and your family's happiness. If it doesn't involve me, then I'm happy with that, knowing that you guys are happy and safe. And it ends the episode with a lot of little things too. I want to talk about. One is Bakugo's hero name. He says he's not going to tell anyone his hero name. There's somebody who wants to tell his hero name first. So I know his hero name is, and I love it. And I cannot wait for him to say it out loud, because when he says it, it's fucking dope. But I'm just going to keep that to myself. Also, the whole idea of Endeavor sacrificing his love for his family is love in itself, man. I got to give it to Endeavor, man. Like, this man is walking down the loneliest roads because he understands, like, my family doesn't need me to be in their life like that. If I can give them a house where they can be a family, then that's good enough for me. Knowing that they're family and they're happy is enough happiness for me, and I gotta give it to him. And I hope that eventually everyone will come around and add him into that vision in that picture. And that's my only hope for him, because I do believe everyone deserves a second chance. Even when we fucked up and we're blindsided by our worst emotions, we can be saved. And like, again, the whole idea of being heroes is for someone to save themselves, and sometimes you can be your own hero and save yourself. And I really hope that we get that with Endeavor. Regardless of that, this episode is honestly pretty decent. It's probably a B. It's nothing too amazing. It's pretty good. It's good enough to pass above a C. And I think that's what this whole season is trying to do. It's trying to make everything passable. And I don't know if I'm for that. I do want more extravagant episodes. I think I've given A to a couple other episodes, like the Bakugo episode and whatnot. But like, I need more solidness in this season, because this season has a lot to offer. Regardless of that, guys, that's gonna be it for your boy. My voice is already hurting. Hopefully by next week I'm a lot better and I'll start streaming again soon. But this is gonna be it. It's your boy Poppy Wolf saying peace out, peace and love, and adios, y'all. Catch y'all later.